Mr. Beer, I did want to make a short statement first, if I could.
Absolutely, you go ahead.
Right, thank you. I would just like to say, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this in person, how sorry I am for all that subpostmasters and their families and others have suffered as a result of all of the matters that the inquiry has been looking into for so long. My third apology is really about today, because I will answer the questions truthfully, and I'm very aware that they will be difficult to listen to for you and for me, and I ask your understanding in advance of that. Thank you.
This is a new document for the inquiry, having been properly disclosed by you recently. It's an iMessage exchange with Moya Green. Moya Green, I don't know what to say. I think you knew. Moya. You reply, no, Moya, that isn't the case. She replies, I want to believe you. I asked you twice. I suggested you get an independent review, reporting to you. I was afraid you were being lied to. You said the system had already been reviewed multiple times. How could you not have known? She says in the second text down there, I think you knew, and you say that isn't the case. What did you think you were denying?
I think Moya was possibly suggesting there that there was some conspiracy, as you mentioned earlier, and as I said, I didn't believe that was the case.
Why were you telling these parliamentarians that every prosecution involving the Horizon system had been successful and had found in favour of the Post Office?
I fully accept now that the Post Office, excuse me, the Post Office knew that. I completely accepted. Personally, I didn't know that, and I'm incredibly sorry that that happened to those people and to so many others. That I had a personal experience of a previous Post Office colleague who had took their own lives, and I phoned the family, and I spoke to the father, who explained to me that there were other issues involved. And I imagine that, I'm sorry, I imagine that I was probably...
Ms. Vennells, just rather than trying to talk through your...
So I beg your pardon.
Just pause.
Yes, okay.
Try and compose yourself if you can, and then continue your evidence, please.
Thank you. In this particular case, I had spoken to the subpostmaster's father, who had said to me that there were other contributory factors in his son's death, and they were very grateful for the call that I had made. In Mr. Griffith's case, I also offered to do the same, and I was told by the General Manager of the Crown Officers that that wasn't needed and other people were in the loop. All the cases that came into the mediation scheme were by their nature disturbing. My purpose in circulating these was from a it was from a point of view of compassion.
What systems?
That the colleagues working on them and those who There were many questions in the there were questions in the organisation at a board and a group executive level about whether, and this is in documentation, this was a distraction of management time. When I read these reports, it seemed to me that this was an important distraction of management time, and that any colleague who might think that this was not a good use of money to be invested by Post Office and time invested in investigating it was clearly wrong.
I.e., I understood there was an urgent escalation process in place so that we avoided any unnecessary additional noise or reference to Horizon, as all the investigations have so far shown problems to be mostly branch operational issues rather than the system.
I'm not very happy with my wording about avoiding any unnecessary additional noise or references to Horizon.
You're not the only person that said that they don't like their use of the word noise. Is that how, in fact, it was seen at the top end of the Post Office? When sub-postmasters complain, it's just noise.
No, and I'm sorry, it's not a good word, but you've also seen how I've responded personally to individual matters too. No, it's a word I regret using.